Hello, Daniel Tiger. Hello, Ross Lynch, actor fan. How are you? Give me a second or two. Hello, D-Man. I am running just a minute or two behind. My phone was charging. I don't think so. Sperm whale might be pretty close. Oh, I'm sorry, Daniel. That's good. Well, I hope the best, man. See if I can do this. Yeah, it did. A little bit late. I haven't started yet. Okay. Oh, yeah. I need to do this too, don't I? It's about the Beluga sturgeon, yes. Oops. Okay, that is done. I wish YouTube would let me do all of this ahead of live. That would be amazing. Okay. Oh, nice. What's the yeah, sure. Are we questioning my biggest shark tooth? Right now? Like my real biggest shark tooth? Um Honestly, probably this one. It's not in the best of shape. But that's probably the biggest. Second biggest is probably this great white. But we need to get into live and into the topic. Okay. Learn to care Beluga Sturgeon. This is the scientific name, or so I was told. Hello, wrong crowd. So, the Beluga Sturgeon. Oh, hello, carry me through. I almost forgot to say hi. We are talking about the Beluga Sturgeon. Now, this is, if I am not mistaken, the third largest bony fish, which is kind of interesting because I read somewhere where their skeleton is cartilage. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense because then they couldn't have a bony skeleton. So maybe we'll figure that one out at the end of live. So these fish are critically endangered. Their population trend is for a big drop, or not a big drop, but is on the decrease. And I don't have numbers for exactly where they're at population wise. What I can tell you is that The adults live out at sea. And my phone is doing it again. By D-Man 9FP. I'm gonna have to look that up. So the adults live out at sea, and they are pelagic creatures, meaning that they live sort of in the open ocean. When it is time to spawn, though, they actually will do a salmon thing, and that is they will migrate up rivers to the spot where they were born. Got it. They feed on numerous species of fish, as well as their fry, and they will take crustaceans, mollusks, and amphipods, which are like a crustacean. They are native to Eurasia, which means Europe and Asia, and they can be found in the Caspian, Black, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this one, so I'm just going to put it out there. Almost put it on Facebook. And Facebook would be like, what? It should be noted. Sorry. It should be noted that they were found in the Adriatic, Adriatic Sea. Unfortunately, they were fished out of that sea. In Russia, actually. Females will enter marshes. Sorry. That is not supposed to be marsh. Females will enter rivers around March or April. We'll get to that, Daniel. And once they make their migration and spawn, they can lay up to 360,000 eggs, up to 7,700,000 eggs. Females will only carry eggs once every 5 to 7 years. And they are the most expensive fish in the world. It is also, like I said, the third largest bony fish on the planet. On record, the largest female was removed from the Volga River estuary, and it was 1,571 kilograms, or 3,463 pounds. It was 7.2 meters long, or 23 feet and 7 inches. Yes, that is where we get beluga caviar. Most of the fish that are caught today are somewhere between 4 feet to 10 feet long and weigh 42 to 582 pounds. Now, there are rumors that there are bigger fish out there, and that there have been bigger fish caught. However, that is not necessarily been proven. So there's that. So imagine what could happen if these 42-foot long belugas were allowed to reach full size. Another thing I want you to consider is that these fish could live to be over 100 years old, but it's rare for them to get that big or that old. At least nowadays. Bye, Daniel. People do cook beluga. Their migration might take them over 1,700 kilometers or 1,100 miles upstream. Males mature around 12 to 16 years of age, and females mature around 16 to 22 years of age. Now, what aquariums house these animals? There are one, maybe two, that house them in the United States. The one being the Great Lakes Aquarium, and the other one is the aquarium that D-Man saw them in. There are 11 countries in Europe that house... there are 11 countries with at least one aquarium that houses these fish. So 11 countries where at least each country of those 11 house beluga sturgeon, with one country having multiple facilities where they house them. In Russia, you can see them in 4 places. And in all of Asia, there is only one place. I have no idea. These fish are illegally caught for their meat and their caviar. Bycatch is a huge problem for this species, meaning that they get caught when other fish are trying to be caught. Another big problem are dams, because dams, when you erect a dam, you can't get fish upriver. It makes it really, really hard. And those dams then hinder migration, which is really important for a lot of fish. Pollution caused by oil, industry, sewage, and agriculture are also hurting these fish. Artificial reproduction and stocking seems to be the only way that is holding extinction back. So what they do is they will artificially breed these animals, and then they will raise the babies and then put them into areas where they can live. In many places, these animals are fully protected And also, in many places, commercial hunting is not allowed. It is protected under, or it gained protection under CITES in 1998, and that means that it cannot be imported or exported. They have been caught in some places for reproduction or reproductive reasons. And another reason that these fish are in trouble is enforcement. It is one thing to have these laws out there, but if you can't stop them, you can't enforce the laws. Meaning, if there's not enough people enforcing the laws, it's going to be chaos. And that's sort of what's going on in many of these locations. Tonight at 7 p.m., we are going to be talking about the American paddlefish. I think we've talked about that before in video. I'm pretty sure it'll be our first time going live about them. Russia is one of those countries where they do have laws. And in some places, they actually breed the beluga for caviar. So they're not necessarily taking the animals from the wild. They're farming them within captive breeding. So, beluga caviar is supposedly at market prices, ranges from $7,000 to $22,000 per kilogram, or 3,200 to 10,000 pounds. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. 3,200 to $10,000 per pound. So it is worth a whole heck of a lot of money. And it is considered to be the most expensive caviar in the world. Oftentimes, beluga caviar is actually milked out of the sturgeon. And that is how we get caviar. What is your PFP from Lee now? Oh, I get it. Hi, Lee now. My, when I was in choir in high school, my choir director at Christmas time, or in December, I should say, would do this big, massive Christmas program. that was sort of set in medieval period-ish. And we would all, those of us in choir would dress up in costumes. And one of the things that he would always serve was caviar. Now, I'm assuming it was not beluga caviar, but I don't know. I was a little 7th grader back then, but I remember it. Never had it, but I remember it being there. I haven't had caviar. But people also eat, and it was already mentioned, people do eat the sturgeon as well, so I'm pretty sure that beluga is white. Pretty sure. Not sure what language. Yeah, it is. Beluga comes from the Russian word for white. I don't know. I think the scariest kid movie, Black Crystal, maybe. Anyway, that is what I have on the beluga. Oh wait. Their skeleton is almost entirely cartilaginous. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying that it necessarily is scary. I don't remember if I've watched it or not. Labyrinth, mildly. Let's see what it pops up next. How was everybody doing this week? Yeah, but I wouldn't say Fifth Element is necessarily a kid's movie. Nice, nice. Last, well, not the last one, but our next live will be tonight at 7 p.m. and it is on the Paddlefish. Friday, we are doing a really cool one. We're going to be talking about our position in the solar system. And I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to get me in trouble, and I really don't care. Depending upon your views, we are going to be talking about our position in the solar system and a bunch of other little coinkydinks that aren't really coinkydinks that allow for life on this planet. And that's what we're talking about on Friday at 1 p.m. And then September 12th at 7 p.m., we are having a open chat. And then Saturday, we are doing a subscriber-only event, and it's going to be an animal meet and greet. So you will be meeting an animal of some sort. And it's not going to be one of those or one of those. It's going to be a real animal. I just don't know what. And then next Tuesday, we're doing the plastic problem and recycling. So that is what is coming up. As far as video-wise, we have finished the last of the week's if you haven't seen it yet, the video for today is the Kingfisher video suggested by Carry Me Through. Some beautiful, oh no, by Ross Lynch. Some very beautiful species of kingfishers are in that video. Coming up next week, or coming up later this week, actually tomorrow, we are doing bittersweet nightshade, followed by spotted garden eel, Cnidarians, emperor penguins, bobcat, echolocation, and sardines. So that is what's coming up. And then the following week will be another subscriber choice, and we will be looking at dolphins as a tool A worm that makes snails' eyes go bonkers. American lotus. Brazilian pepper tree as an invasive species. Long-tailed tit. Leaf slug. And spiny dogfish. So that is what's coming up for the next 2 weeks. And now it is your turn. I also have some really cool things coming up this week. I do have to film 3 videos today. Or try to. I have the stories for the spooky channel for the next week already written, which is amazing. They're okay. Also, need to do the video for the second channel and the video for the home channel, which is this channel. So, lots of stuff to do. I don't know if I saw is that... I think I remember the first movie. I'm not sure. If I've seen it or not. To be honest. Guys, we only have 2 likes. What is up with that? Wait. How is that possible? How is that possible? Which one is right? This one says 7. This one says 2. I think that's the one he's talking about. Was me too. I'm going to go ahead. I have no idea. Well, we have 3 people. 4 people now. Maybe. Yeah, 4 people is what I'm showing. Hello, everybody that just came in. 8 people. Wow. Hello, everybody that just came in. My name is Nature Guy X46, and this is the Natureverse that you have stumbled into. We have already talked about the fish. So somebody asked me earlier in live to look at my biggest shark's teeth. I've been told this is a shark's tooth. This is a baby. The adults would be way bigger than this. This is probably the most famous of the sharks. And no, it's not a great white. I would say this is probably the most famous shark's tooth. They've made at least 3 movies out of it, I'm thinking. This guy was a whale hunter. So, really cool that I was able to buy it. And this is a prehistoric great white. It's not in the best of shape, as you can tell. But it is still a shark's tooth. The little bit of fuzziness that you see on the outside edge is actually serrations. So, really cool find. So yeah. Really, really cool. I love getting questions like that. Love showing off the collection. If I can. I'm thinking we're the only ones on. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, now is a good time to get them out there. Because if this is all there is, we probably are going to be signing off. Nice. So let's see. Are there news coming out that you may not be aware of? There are some changes. Oh, interesting. Air pollution directly linked to increased dementia risk. Hey, J King MC, I didn't see you come in. Some countries are trying to get people from the United States. Well, some people are trying to get people that want their PhDs to come to their country instead of the United States. No, not Papa. A man in the US received a pig kidney, and 6 months later he is still alive. So that's really cool. Though I'm not totally surprised, since we can use pig valves for hearts that need them. I don't know. Not your Papa. Um, 2024 saw a record low count of butterfly species in the UK. They are working to bring back species, or some insect species, in the UK. In some places, they are working at reducing the speed limits, and that is to help deal with animals being hit. They are working at saving the Chinese rare snub-nosed monkey. And anyway, that is some news that is out there. If it doesn't stop and you've given her a warning, as well as carried out erasing comments, then the next step is to put her on a timeout. On August 8th of 2025, we lost Jim Lovell, one of our Apollo 13 commanders, or commander, I should say. A meteorite came through a Georgia home. Turns out it is older than the Earth. we have discovered that some animals are actually using arse noises to woo mates, as well as some animals are actually getting louder to be heard over the noise that humans make. I don't know if you know this or not. There are at least 10 species of whales, meaning that they are descendants of whales, that walked on land, but also were partially aquatic. So anyway, yep, that's what I mean. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. If you have any questions or comments that you want to share, put them in the comments of this video or this live, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.